Good evening, good people. Welcome to another episode of Hit List. So, today I got two special stories for you. Now, I started to call this episode Rookies. And I decided against that, and I'll tell you why. Rookies make mistakes, as the people in these stories made a mistake. One critical mistake, several ancillary ones after that. But rookies make mistakes because they're rookies. They don't necessarily know better, right? In this case, the people who made these mistakes should have known better. So I'm not calling this episode Rookies, I'm calling it Lightweights. You'll see why. So, this episode encompasses hit number 24 and number 40. Okay? Now, flashback to last episode, I mentioned that there was a story about this diamond party, which I thought I recorded and put on my feed. Apparently I just had in the story. So, since we can't go back and get that, I'll tell that story again as briefly as I can. Then I'll get to the good part fairly quickly too. So this story is about a party at my alma mater, or one of the buildings of my alma mater. That party had the party planners transform a warehouse into what could only be called a lavish dining experience, complete with models, ice sculptures, dancers, all the booze you could drink. Yeah, great party favors, all that good stuff, right? And if you saw what they did, they even piped in air conditioning at a time when piping in air conditioning wasn't a really big thing. Now, at this party, they also happen to have a surplus of staff, which is unusual at most parties because most people would know that between food and labor, those are your two biggest costs. And so you cut back on whichever one is least important to you, and a lot of people choose staffing, although that's crazy. So in this particular case, we had a surplus of staff in this venue that wasn't very big, relatively speaking, especially for the amount of people that were there. And because we had a surplus amount of staff, we basically got to choose where we wanted to be, okay? At least us senior people did. And I chose, myself and another friend of mine, chose to be at the staff bar. Now, if you don't know anything about catering or working at an event venue, the staff bar is supposed to be where staff go to get drinks for customers so they don't have to bother the main bar with supplying those drinks for customers who are walking up. In theory. What happens in practice is, and I don't necessarily condone this, I'm just telling you what goes on, is staff go to the staff bar to get drinks for themselves, okay? Because nobody in their right mind is going to go across a room to grab a drink for a customer who's right there when another bar is right next to them. I mean, just common sense, right? And I would say good customer service. So I'm working at the staff bar, and me and a friend of mine, and we're partaking a little bit, but we've been at this for years. So, we know how much we can drink, how much we can't drink, pitfalls to avoid, like taking shots, crazy stuff like that. And there's this kid who is a lightweight. He's also a rookie, but I'm not gonna use the word rookie. He's a lightweight. And he's new. This kid is actually walking to the staff bar to get drinks for customers, which was a dead giveaway. And eventually he sees all the other staff hanging out back there and decides that he's going to partake too. Now, I'm in no position to judge anybody for that. So, we serve him just like we serve everybody else. So, this kid, and I remember he had a penchant for Chardonnay. Kid starts throwing Chardonnays back like it's going out of style. Now, I'll be the first to tell you, I don't like Chardonnays, like at all. But if I was going to drink a wine and be throwing it back, Chardonnays are probably a little bit too easy to drink, and the effects are a little bit too delayed to safely consume it at pace. And apparently this kid didn't know that. So by the time we ended up cutting him off, we actually had to cut this kid off. He's throat. And we told him to go outside. The way this place is set up, there's like a parking lot outside where you can kind of hide if you're so inclined. And we told him to go, just chill in the parking lot, take some deep breaths, all that kind of stuff, sober up. Come to the end of the party, and it was a fantastic party. Great guests and everything. Come to the end of the party, kid's missing. Don't know where the hell he is. On top of that, his car's still there. So we're pretty sure he didn't leave, at least not, we knew he didn't leave in the car. Thought he might have, walked off on foot. Where this building is that makes it unlikely that he actually left on foot too, because it's right next to the freeway and there's nothing really nearby in this particular area of this building. And don't know where the hell he is. So as I mentioned earlier, this place has been transformed by the event managers. We start taking all the stuff down. Pipe and drape, which is basically a wall curtain. We take everything down. And, we start packing stuff out. All the party stuff, the tables, the ice bar, everything. Still don't see him. One of the workers, before we leave, because we're all packed up and ready to go, before we leave, one of the workers goes into a restroom kitchen. It was a kitchen and a restroom area that's off to the side. You couldn't even see it because it was behind the pipe and drape. And when he goes in there, he finds the kid wrapped around a toilet. Actually, if you ever been, everybody's been in a bathroom. In a bathroom in a commercial facility, there is always space for, handicap access and all that. This kid is wedged basically in between the toilet and the wall, throw up all over himself, okay, in this restroom, which has this ADA space that's there, for people with wheelchairs and things like that. Passed out, just destroyed. And we ended up having to, somebody had to take him home. I didn't take him home. But they ended up having to take this kid home. But we did have to pack him out of the, venue. Now, the second story. Second story is a similar event, and I'm not sure if it's the same kid or not. It very well may be. Went to a party, actually, we worked a party that was in Beaumont. And if you've ever been to Beaumont, Beaumont is a good 40-minute drive, 45-minute, depending on where you live, from Houston. And so we all had to go in this van. And there were two vans. And so we all go in these two vans to get to the party. It's a great party. It's like in a museum or something like that. And there's this kid who, again, is, a lightweight by the definition we've established, who is throwing back drinks irresponsibly. And next thing we know, this kid goes missing. Now, unlike the other event where we're kind of in this space where there's really not a lot of places to go. So, we found this other kid pretty easily. I mean, eventually, because he had no other place to go. This party in Beaumont was right next to the main strip of bars and country places, and I think they had a jazz bar there. It's right in the middle of this area. So when this kid disappears, we didn't know where he went. It took our manager, who later became a really good friend of mine. Matter of fact, he was at my wedding. I believe a good hour and a half to find this kid. Apparently, he had left the party drunk, had walked the 2 blocks across basically a field and a park to get to the strip in Beaumont and was bar hopping, underage too, bar hopping down the Beaumont strip while we were supposed to be working. Okay? So, needless to say, these are preventable situations, and they're preventable in one primary aspect. If you're a lightweight, and if you're an adult and out there drinking, you should know whether you're a lightweight or not. You have to manage yourself, okay? Nobody's gonna do it for you. And if you can't do it, nobody wants to clean up after you. But just some more, there's another couple of stories to lift your spirits in these tough times. Hey, if you enjoyed it, please let me know. If you have any stories you want to share with me, if you have any stories you want me to share with the world, let me know. Hit me up. Till next time, y'all be safe out there. Peace.